Hello everybody, it is week 2 of the fall 2016 semester and I thought I'd check in with Art 282 Online and see how things are going. So this is my attempt to do that. I'm going to just sort of point to a couple of things I think are of interest for you in week 2 on the site, and then please feel free to inbox me with any questions. All right. So, speaking of inbox, just a reminder that if you ever want to send me a message, all you have to do is use this button right here for inbox, and then it allows you to create a message, select your class, and then select my name from the list. You can also send messages to your fellow students that way. But one thing I want to point out for this week is that since we are in week 2, we're on a new module or unit, so we'll scroll down a little bit when we're on that modules page, and it should look something like this. Week 2, 15th century art in Northern Europe, so the Netherlands, Germany, France, etc. We have our unit guide, which we're used to now. We have the 2 parts of the lecture, and then we have an assignment. And this week the assignment is not a discussion. This week it is a written assignment. That will be submitted through the assignments tool. So I thought maybe I would show you how to do that. Hold on and let me put it in student settings or student view so I can show you how to do that. Okay, so now we're in student view, and this is what modules should look like approximately for you. See module 1 there, week 1 and week 2. You'll see our links to the different pages of the unit, and then the link to the Unit 2 assignment. So we'll click that. And it gives you the date, tells you how many points, which is what your weekly homework's always worth, 10 points. Submitting a file upload. So instead of posting to a discussion board like you did the first week, you're going to actually upload a file, a PDF file or a Word document. So I might as well just briefly go over a few points of this assignment, if that's okay, before we model how to submit it. This week's, unit assignment is about symbolism and iconography. Now, if you've carefully read the textbook and the unit lectures, you notice that symbolism and iconography, that is using symbols to sort of say something or tell a story or make a statement, is very, very important in Northern early Renaissance art. We saw really great examples with the marriage portrait by Jan van Eyck. We saw also the Ghent altarpiece by Jan and Hubert van Eyck has some great examples. But also the Marota altarpiece or the Annunciation of the Virgin by Robert Campan is another great example. So if you're having some trouble struggling figuring out what exactly is a symbol in an artwork I'm looking at, those are 2 good examples, the marriage portrait and the Marota altarpiece or Annunciation. Great examples of use of iconography that you can then look for in artworks of your own. And I do want you to select a different artwork. I really don't want you to use marriage portrait or Marota altarpiece, just, as a, I think we kind of understand that. I mean, I want you to do this with something new. So it asks you to go to the Web Gallery of Art. There is a lot of options, the Web Gallery of Art. Be sure that you find something within the time frame, 1400 to 1550. Do not pick something from the 18th century, the 19th century, the 13th century. Make sure it's in this time frame, and you can do that on the Web Gallery of Art. If you take time to actually look at that search page, you'll see that there's lots of options for what you can select, including dates. And then make sure that it is from the France, Germany, Holland or the Netherlands, or Flemish, that it is not Italian or Spanish, because that tradition is quite a bit different and actually does not tend to use symbols and iconography in the same way. So those 2, out of all this, of course I want you to read this entire prompt, but those are 2 really important points as you get started. Make sure that you follow those 2 requests for your artwork. And then a length of about 150 words or more. More is probably better. If you find you're filling up space for 150 words, you're probably doing it wrong and you need to go back and start working on the assignment again. Okay? All right, and then one more point I wanted to make. Oh, before we make that other point, how do you submit assignments? So go up to, and this is described in your orientation too, but go up to Submit Assignment, click it, and then you're going to choose a file to submit. So let's just select let's just use this PDF. How about that? This just is PDF. Now notice that it tells you, oh, this is the name of the file. So you'll know before you choose Submit which file you select and make sure it's the right one. Click Submit Assignment. It's submitting. Takes a moment, and then what happens? It puts you back up to the top and says it's turned in, tells you the date and time, tells you what the file was to remind you, and any comments you may have added. So you do not have to, if you get this message, you do not have to ask me, did you get my assignment? Because I often get people ask me that, and it's like if you don't have any reason to question that your assignment got turned in, just go look for yourself. You can go back to the assignment and look for yourself if you're not sure. It says turned in. Then if something happens, something was wrong, you can resubmit the assignment. Okay? All right. Well, the last thing I want to point out to you is that the module called Orientation is now at the bottom of the modules page. So let's go just to that so I can show you. Yes. Okay. So go to the bottom of the page, past all of these other modules, and you'll see Orientation is still down there at the bottom. So anything that you don't remember, you definitely want to at one point go back to the orientation to learn about how to study for an exam, to learn about what to do with a proctored exam if you forget, and so on. All of that is still there at the bottom of the modules page. So with that, I bid you a great week too, and I will see you online.